safety officers, you ready?
Yeah.
Okay, taser, taser, taser.
What's going on, you guys? And Saran back again with another video. And today I'm going to be talking about another story time about a time where I almost got robbed at gunpoint. This was a very intense moment in my life, and I gained so much knowledge from this. For those of you guys who don't know me, besides being a security officer, I also like to cut hair. I'm a barber. I've been cutting hair for 10 years now. I started when I was 14 years old. My dad, he was a barber, and my grandfather was a barber as well. The story starts where I was cutting one of my clients' hair. It was about 11:30 at night when I finished cutting his hair. I put everything in my duffel bag and I was walking out to my truck. So as I'm pulling out onto the alley, it was very dark. And then out of nowhere, some guy comes and he punches my truck. So I get out, I'm cussing the guy out. I'm telling him, hey, what the hell is your problem? You know, and he seemed very confused as to where he was at. So I asked him, hey, what the hell? Are you on drugs or something? And then he said, ah, man, he's walking like this. He's like, you hurt my hand. Ah, it hurts. And then at that moment, I was like, well, what the hell is this guy's problem? So I was like, you know what, man, have a good night. My truck, material things to me are not really that important. So, I mean, the guy was tiny, by the way. He's not gonna hurt my truck that much. I looked at my truck and it was fine. So I just told him, hey, man, have a good night. Got back in my truck. And well, as I was about to get inside my truck, this guy proceeds to walk up behind me, and then his attitude changed. He said, he pulled his hand to his waistband where he had his pistol, and then he says, hey, you think I'm playing? And I was like, what the fuck? So as I'm turning around and I see him grabbing the pistol, my natural instinct was to fight back. That's how I was raised. I've never backed down from anything, no matter how big the guy was. If he was 6'5", 300 pounds, I will never back down from a fight. I will never back down from anything that is causing harm to me or to my family. That's how I was brought up. And so what I did was I grabbed the dude's shirt by his neck, and then with my right hand I proceeded to drop him to the floor. As he was falling back, he was wearing a huge sweater, so as he was falling back, I see all these things that fall out of his pockets. I saw like a gold watch, some kind of like jewelry, you know. So I knew right away that this guy was up to no good, and he was robbing people at night. Which is really stupid. As he falls down and I'm walking over to beat his ass, basically, there's no other way to put it, I left my truck on drive. So as I'm walking over to him, I see my truck rolling away and hitting a van. And I'm like, oh shit. Time just froze, you know. I was like, well, why does this have to happen to me? So as my truck rolls into the van, there was a van. This older guy comes out and he says, hey man, what the hell is going on? So then for some reason I don't see the pistol anymore. Maybe it like slid underneath one of the cars. There was kind of like a tight alleyway. So maybe it slid underneath one of the cars. I didn't see the pistol. It wasn't near the guy anymore. It wasn't in his waistband because I had pulled his shirt. So I don't know where the pistol was. So when the guy who tried to assault me gets up, he grabs a rock and he's trying to hit the older guy with it, because I don't know what was wrong with him. Maybe, I don't know if he had like some type of mental disorder or something. Maybe he was on drugs. I don't know. I'm telling you what I saw. So he was trying to throw the rock at the older man, and the rock was about maybe like the size of the rock was a pretty big size, and I'm pretty sure if he would have thrown it at the guy's head, or maybe killed him, possibly killed him. So the guy was telling me to leave. So at the time, I told him, no, I'm not gonna leave. I don't want to see him in the morning on the news and knowing that I could have prevented something from happening. So I told the guy it was fine. I could handle this. And then the guy's just talking mad shit to me. He's telling me that he wanted my duffel bag, he wanted my wallet, and he basically wanted my things so he can walk off. And I told him, no, I'm not gonna give you any of my things. I said, you can do whatever you want with that rock, but you're not gonna get away with any of my things. So the guy decides to do a cowardly move. What he did was he basically threw the rock at my windshield and made a huge hole. And it was my front windshield, by the way. He made a huge hole, and then he decided to run off, and then he threw up a gang sign. I don't know what the hell he threw up, and decided to run off. Which, in my opinion, why would you throw up a gang sign and then run away from me? That's such a cowardly move. The guy ran off into some apartments. I decided to go after him, but then realizing that my truck had the doors open and there was nobody around, I didn't want to have my truck stolen on top of everything that had happened. I was heated. I was so mad. When I got home, I couldn't go to sleep, and I was thinking, well, you know what? I want to go look for this guy, and I want to hurt him. But then part of me told me, sometimes things in life happen. Maybe there was something going on in this guy's life where he wasn't happy, and I don't want that negativity to go on to my life. Negative and positive vibes, they attract to you. It depends if you want to pick them up or not. Maybe if I would have caught up to the guy and hurt him, let's just say I beat him up or something, next time I ride through there, he could actually shoot me. What I'm trying to say is, sometimes you just have to learn to let things go. Well, I saw this guy maybe 2 years after this incident. I saw this guy at one of my friend's funerals, and I saw him just standing there. I didn't have any anger towards him. Maybe he had a confrontation or something negative that happened in his life, and he decided that doing something like that was gonna make him feel better. I didn't say anything to the guy. I didn't even know if he saw me. But I just learned to forgive. That's all I can tell you. Let me tell you this: when somebody decides to rob somebody, their intention is to rob. It's not to kill. So you see a lot of times where somebody goes into a store and they want to rob somebody. Their intentions aren't to kill somebody. Their intentions are to get away with the items. Like I told you before, my parents raised me tough. I can defend myself, so things didn't go his way. This is just a little story time I wanted to tell you guys. There's been so many times where I've been in incidents like this where my life is in danger, and for some reason, I don't know if it's God looking after me, or I don't know if it's some type of protection that I have. But this is just one of the story times that I wanted to share with you guys. Just let me know what you guys think about it. If something like this has ever happened to you, just like, comment, and subscribe. I really want to know what's going on and what you guys think about this whole situation. How would you have prevented this? What would you have done if you were in my shoes? This has been Ant's Rant. Stay tuned.